If you ever been denied getting an apartment or facing any challenges opening up any other accounts due to negative rental information on your credit report, I have some dispute letters that offer you a powerful method to clean up those inaccuracies, assuming they are inaccuracies. So let's talk about that. First, I want to offer you some step-by-step guides on how to use a couple of dispute letters to effectively remove those items, and some strategies for maximizing your success in this attempt. So first, let's talk about what's the purpose of a rental dispute letter. These letters are designed to dispute inaccuracies on your credit report related to outstanding rental balances, eviction records, or any other rental related account issues that might show up on your credit report. Now, each of the letters that I have here request specific documentation under the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Metro 2 compliance guidelines to substantiate any negative rental information that might be on your report. If the bureaus or landlords can't provide proper documentation, they are legally obligated to remove or correct those items. So, how do you use these letters for maximum result? Step 1, you want to collect all necessary documentation. So, before you send any dispute letters, you want to make sure you get your credit report. You want to provide any relevant rental documentation like past agreements, receipts of payments made, court documents, or anything related to a eviction or rental dispute. You want to provide your identity. You want to have your driver's license, social security card, and proof of address like a utility bill. So you're going to have those. Step 2, you want to customize each letter that you create for accuracy. While there are many folks out there who offer comprehensive templates for rental dispute letters, you want to make sure that before you buy one, that it's one that you can customize to reflect your specific information. You want to make sure that you're able to that they list accurate account details, including the name of the property, account numbers, and reported balance or eviction dates. Remember that accurate details will strengthen your dispute. You want to emphasize the FCRA and Metro 2 standards. In your letter, you want to clearly state your demand for verification and highlight your legal rights under FCRA to have only verified information reported, because that's your right under the law. Step 3, you want to make sure you send your letters certified mail. You've heard me say this before. You want to use certified mail with return receipt. This provides proof that the Bureau received your dispute, and that's critical for tracking your response times and maintaining accountability. You want to send each letter separately. So if you're sending to Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, obviously you want to have a separate letter addressed to each one of them. You want to send a separate letter to each one of them. So don't think you can use a general letter and just copy it 3 times and send it to them. You want to address them specifically, and you want to reference them specifically, because especially when the information may not even be the same across the 3 bureaus. But you want to ensure that each letter addresses only that bureau and the information on it. Step 4, of course, you want to monitor and track your progress. You want to note the 30-day deadline, because remember, credit bureaus have 30 days from receipt to respond to your disputes. That's by law. Keep track of each bureau's response time and any request for additional information. You want to follow up promptly. If the bureau does not respond within 30 days, you want to follow up immediately. Don't wait. Don't give them 35 days. Don't give them 40 days. Give them 30. Because keep in mind that a lack of response can often lead to automatic removal of the disputed item. So if they can't verify it and they don't respond in a certain amount of time, the next thing you should see is an updated credit report with it removed. Now, here's some strategies and tips that I think will give you maximum success. First of all, use direct and formal language in your letters. Keep your language professional, direct, and clear. Avoid emotional language or subjective statements. Those kind of things can help weaken your case, because they'll say, oh, this person is just angry and they're babbling on. You want to emphasize your rights under the FCRA and Metro 2, and that will show the bureaus that you understand the laws and you know your rights. Secondly, you want to request specific documentation for verification. If you got a rental balance, you want to request a full itemized history of the charges that contributed to the balance. If you got an eviction on your credit, you want to demand that a certified court judgment supports that eviction if it's listed as a legal action on your credit report. By doing that, that puts the burden of proof on the bureau, because they got to come up with it. The third tip is you want to include all relevant attachments. You want to attach copies of your ID, proof of address, and any rental documents. Missing documentation can delay processing or lead to outright denial of your request. So you want to make sure you got everything in there. Take your time, make sure you got everything in there. Don't try to rush the letter without everything in it, thinking, oh, I can just add it later if they're asked for it. Sometimes they don't come back and ask for more. They just say, nope, you didn't send us enough, and then you have to end up starting over. So take a little extra time and make sure that everything is in there the first time. That greatly increases your chance that you'll get a favorable outcome the first time. And then, of course, you want to request removal of inquiries. So besides disputing the actual balance or disputing the actual eviction, you can request removal of all non-account holding inquiries that are over 30 days old, because these by removing those, these can further improve your credit profile as well. So make sure you got those. If you do those, that'll help a great amount in your success in this if you got this issue. Now, here's some pro tips for strong follow-up and accountability. Of course, you want to be persistent and organized. Remember, disputing negative items can take time and persistence. You want to track the letter's delivery and response. You want to keep all communications records in one place. I always recommend hard copies in a manila folder. Remember, persistence shows the bureaus that you are serious about cleaning up your credit, and it will greatly increase your chances. So don't let a lot of time go outside of the normal timelines. You want to stay on them because they know you're serious about cleaning up your credit. You can also, of course, file a complaint if necessary. If the bureau fails to respond or refuses to remove unverifiable items, you can always file a complaint with the CFPB, of course, at consumerfinance.gov. You can Google CFPB. It's easy to find. And then you can go in and then you can click a link that specifically says file a complaint. Process is very easy. They make it easy. Now you can even upload your documents if you want to with your complaint, so they can have access to all your information, all your evidence. That'll help them when they pursue the bureau and to make them accountable. They can say, hey, we have evidence of this, that, and the other. What say ye? This will also add weight to your dispute, as the CFPB will enforce compliance. And so if you're showing that they are out of compliance with your evidence, that makes it easier for them to go after them. You can follow up with the original creditor or property management as well. While this is designed to send to the credit bureaus, you can also send it directly to the property management company or the rental owner who actually reported the information. You can also send a direct dispute to them. And so keep in mind that oftentimes property managers are more willing to negotiate removal or correction than the larger credit bureaus, because they say, okay, we can work on this. And they may be a little bit more cooperative in that regard. You may want to consider hiring a credit attorney if the situation is really, really complex. So if it involves legal complexities, not just a complex situation, but actual legal complexities, or if the rental account is severely impacting your credit, you may want to consult with an attorney, and they can they can work on that, because they specialize in FCRA violations, and they can typically handle these type of disputes more effectively than just trying to go it on your own, or even employing a credit repair professional such as myself. Sometimes you need that mouthpiece of the law, as they call it. All right, let me offer you a sample timeline. It should go a little something like this. So day one, you send the dispute letters to each credit bureau or the creditors, ensuring that all documentation and evidence is included. Days 3 through 5, you want to track delivery confirmation for each one of your letters sent. That's easy if you're using certified mail. Then you want to wait. And so you want to give them up to 30 days. And then after 30 days, you want to check for responses from each of the credit bureaus. If the bureau responds with a request for more information, you want to respond promptly with the requested information. If you don't have it, then you go through the trouble of getting it. It may require you reaching out to someone, another party, and then as soon as you get it, you want to send that ASAP. Now, if no response is received in 30 days, you want to follow up with each bureau, stating that their obligation to respond within the required window has passed. So day 31, you do that. So now you'll wait a little bit more for a response on that second attempt. So you give them up to another 30 days. Hopefully it won't take that long. But by day 60, if the bureau fails to verify that disputed item or respond at all, you need to escalate that matter to the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, or maybe even consider legal action by hiring that attorney and suing them outright. Now, I talked to you about the crucial elements that you want to have in that rental dispute letter. You want to make sure you have those in there. You want to make sure you're clear on what you're looking for from them. So now if you're pretty good at writing a letter and you know what to put in there, you can certainly do that. Just make sure those elements are there. Now you also have the option of you can shop around, and there are folks out there who sell dispute letter templates, usually in batches or kits. Sometimes they have a set of letters focusing on one aspect or another of the dispute process. If you're considering that route, make sure that you're able to view the letter to ensure that what you're buying has all the essential elements. Otherwise, you'll be buying a dispute letter in a template, and then you may have to go in and rearrange it to add the necessary pieces to give you the best outcome on that. Now, I have a DIY platform that you can, if you upload your credit report, it will flag all your negative items, including rental items, and it can just create dispute letters for you, and then you can print them out, add your documentation, and mail them off. Or you have access to a third-party company that they can print the letters for you. You just have to provide the additional documents, and then they can take care of that for you, including including the certified mail option that I recommend. So if you're interested in that, you can easily go and contact any of the contacts here in the description. You can either register for the webinar on Wednesday, and then I can make it available to you, or you can go to my website, see the link below, and you can request a free audit. When you do that, that'll make the DIY website available to you, and you could have that. Or if you purchase, when you purchase any of my products, the ebooks or the courses, you'll have access to it as well. But right now there is an option to get it with no additional charge by registering with me, and I can certainly help you with that. This way you can work on your credit yourself, save yourself some money from paying a professional, and you can do it yourself and have the guidance to get it done in a more efficient manner than trying to just kind of figure it out yourself. So you can most certainly do that. Now, some final thoughts on using these letters to do this. By disputing the negative rental items like unpaid balances or evictions, keep in mind that this process requires a systematic approach. But by following the steps that I laid out in this video and leveraging your rights under the FCRA and Metro 2 compliance, you will be well positioned to have these items removed if they cannot be verified. So remember, always provide comprehensive documentation and precise information in your letters. Track every step of the process for accountability. Be prepared to escalate your dispute to the regulatory agencies if necessary. So, with persistence, the right documentation, and a strategic approach, you can improve your credit profile by successfully disputing these items. I kind of did this to empower you with the tools and the knowledge necessary to restore your financial standing. So hopefully, after reviewing this video, taking notes, review it again, and following the steps, you'll be able to restore your financial standing and regain access to your housing and financial services. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I ask that you please subscribe to my channel. You can have access, and then you can watch many of the other videos. Also, by subscribing and hitting that notification, you will be notified every time I create a new video like this, so that you guys can enjoy that and hopefully help you in your credit repair journey. Also note, please comment if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for future video topics. You can reach me through the various avenues listed in the descriptions. I'm more than happy to help you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So if you like this, go to my channel. Go to my website. There are other services there as well. Because remember, personal credit, the path to good credit, it opens up a lot of doors for a lot of things. And I'd be happy to get you going, because remember, better credit means a better life. So until the next video, thank you for your time and attention. Take care, family.